Guys, normally I don't make content on Sundays because I do the podcast, sit down for a long time. Don't normally make content on Sundays, but HiFi Rush, I've talked about it on this channel a variety of times. So I'm sitting here in my room, just chilling, and I get mad messages. Now, normally when I pop in on Twitter and I got like 500-600 unread messages, one or two things has happened. Either I'm going to really like what I see, or I'm going to go really hate what I see. I hate to be, no, you know what I love? To be the bearer of good news for you guys. HiFi Rush looks like it's been saved. Now, for those of you that's been sitting under a rock, HiFi Rush is one of those games that the community loved, myself included. I thought it had a solid foundation. I thought Microsoft could build from this foundation. They can make more and more content from this foundation, and I thought they would. You know, I will say that as far as HiFi Rush, I generally felt like that this game could potentially one day be like Microsoft's new type of, mascot, So for a while, at this point, we were just like, what's new? What's new for the content? What's new for the franchise? Well, Tango got shut down. And it sucked, man, because, it was one of those scenarios where we're looking at Tango Gameworks and we're like, damn. Because it would have been different if they made like a bad game or something relatively close to that. But they didn't. They made a really solid foundation and they got shut down for it. Because to me, even if the game didn't sell well, there was reasons that you could point towards it. It's not a big IP. It's a newer IP. It's a brand new IP. You don't really expect those type of games to move numbers. It's hard enough in the marketplace we have now to splash in it in general. So for the most part, when this happened, I thought Microsoft would give them the benefit of the doubt because Tango Gameworks still was making good quality games. We just got to work more on appealing to a better audience or just the marketing in general. But they didn't. They shut them down. So I made multiple videos. I talked about this from every high corner that I could think of. This is one of those things that I was generally frustrated, generally upset about. And then today, the 11th day of the month, we get this brand new information from Jez Corden saying that Tango Gameworks Studios and HiFi Rush IP has been taken over by the publisher Crafton with plans to expand the HiFi Rush IP. Fantastic news for the studio, and I hope the team receives all the love and support it deserves. So essentially what happened is the PUBG publisher or developer, I don't know if it's a publisher or developer. Look, this is happening extremely late at night. I felt like this is something that I probably couldn't wait till tomorrow. Maybe I should have waited till tomorrow. There'd be a little bit more information going on. Obviously, you guys know if there's something else, I will be updating you guys. But what I really like about this is they went for Tango Gameworks just for HiFi Rush. Because the way I'm reading, they didn't talk about the Evil Within or Ghostwire. They didn't talk about none of those IPs. It was just HiFi Rush. So it makes me think that they already know what they want to do to some degree. Now, I do think Microsoft had something to do with this because I know they got a lot of bad publicity. And part of me loves this outcome, but the other part of me is like, man, if only they would have just kept the reins, it would have been fantastic. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's like a huge deal because it does seem like there is some form of deal going on that, the games will remain on Game Pass. So even though that this game is going to be owned and the studio is going to be owned by another individual, it won't be exclusive or anything from what I'm reading, but it will at least be in Game Pass. I see this as like a Toys for Bob kind of thing where they spin them off. They found someone that was actually interested, and maybe the outcry for HiFi Rush itself made someone interested, or maybe the backlash to shutting the studio down got Microsoft to like be really aggressive on finding someone to take over. They must have got one hell of a deal on this studio and the IP, because it's interesting that they didn't get Ghostwire or The Evil Within. You know, because the studios worked on these games, it would make a lot of sense for Microsoft to sell those IPs with the studio. Maybe that made the price too much, or maybe, you know, this company wasn't really looking for those other IPs. This was the only really IP they was looking for. Look, like I said, best case scenario would have been Microsoft maintained the IPs and they they bankrolled itself. Clearly, that wasn't the option. I'm grateful that Microsoft found someone to take over. So at the very least, Tango's still going to be around. Tango's still going to make games. Hopefully, this will, kind of like level the playing field a little bit when it comes to this. I just want people to just have an open mind. Microsoft, I'm hoping that they fund HiFi Rush 2. Maybe they won't be as much in the back end of things where they're having to manage stuff. They're kind of taking more of a back city approach where, they fund HiFi Rush 2. And if they want to, they can continue that relationship. If they don't have to. Because I do think you're going to see something more similar with the Toys for Bob. Microsoft is putting themselves in a situation where, because they're focusing really on Game Pass, they're able to make these kind of deals and spin off these companies on their own with the funding from Microsoft. So nothing's essentially changed. They're just able to, get around certain things. I do think stuff like the FTC, the CMA, they had so much issues buying Activision. It does look better on their perspective. They're like, look, we're not shutting no one down. We helped them find a partner. We helped them find someone to buy the company. Nothing's really happening. We're still going to fund the game, because that's my assumption that they're going to fund it. I didn't really look too much into it, but it's just good, man. I think this is good thing. I want your guys' opinion. Do you think at this point a little too late? I don't think it's too late. I feel like HiFi Rush being around, even not under the Xbox banner, is better than it just vanishing into the light. I think the game has so much potential to be a fantastic brand, and I'm so glad Microsoft found someone to take over the brand and really give it the love it deserved. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel about this. Do you think HiFi Rush has the potential to really be one of those icons in the industry? PUBG, clearly they do well. Not better than something like Fortnite, but they do good. They could fund a lot of this. They could probably fund the game themselves. I hope Microsoft helps. That's what my assumption would be, is Microsoft is going to help a little bit with the finances part, maybe just the marketing, or maybe the development and the marketing. I don't know. I think Microsoft's biggest thing is they don't want to be directly tied to certain studios that not necessarily they don't have a whole lot of trust in, but they know it's too much of a question mark. And I think that's the reason you're seeing some of this happen. Very curious to your guys' opinion in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. I probably won't have a video tomorrow because of this, unless something crazy happens tomorrow. This is my Monday video. But I felt like, even though this story could update between now and tomorrow, this is such a big news thing. And a lot of people know I was very vocal over the Tango Gameworks thing, and I figured a lot of people would want my opinion on the matter. It's a shame it didn't launch before the podcast. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. Very curious your guys' opinion. You can always follow me at Twitter at LordAddictILP. You can always sub to the channel for weekly content. And don't forget to follow me at Addict Arena. All that's in the description below. That's my streaming channel where we talk about, day-to-day gaming events. And we do it as a community. But anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.